Today, we're diving into a really powerful story of transformation. We're talking about a kid who went from completely careless about school to a determined, passionate dreamer. And his story? Well, it tells us so much about what it actually takes to spark a real love for learning.
So, what truly inspires a love for learning? I mean, it's a question we've all thought about, right? Is it just more discipline, or maybe better rewards, or is it something deeper? This story, it points to a really fascinating answer. So, let's get into it.
It kicks off with a character that, a lot of us might recognize, the careless child. And this isn't about him not being smart, not at all. It's about a real, powerful resistance to the whole idea of school and learning.
He wasn't just, procrastinating on his homework. He was actively running from it. I mean, every single book, every lesson, it felt like a heavy weight he had to escape from. And really, what he was running from was a future he couldn't even begin to picture for himself.
So you gotta ask, what was really happening here? It's easy to just label a kid like that as lazy, but he was more than that. He was completely lost. His whole careless attitude, it all stemmed from having absolutely no sense of direction. For him, school had zero meaning, so why wouldn't he run from it? That's our baseline. That's where we start.
So the big question is, how do you possibly break through a wall like that? Well, in this story, the thing that changed everything, it wasn't more nagging or grounding, it was something totally different. It was his mother's incredibly patient and, brilliant approach.
Now, she didn't have some kind of magic wand to fix everything. Nope. What she had was a very intentional three-part strategy that all worked together. It started with gentle love, then she brought in emotional storytelling, and finally, she connected it all with real-life examples.
First up, gentle love. And let's be clear, this doesn't mean just letting him do whatever he wanted. Not at all. It was about taking the fear out of the equation. She built this safe space, this foundation of trust and support, where he finally felt like he could let his guard down.
Okay, part 2 was emotional storytelling. This is so key. Instead of giving him the classic lecture, you need to study math because she told him stories. Stories about real people, their struggles, their big wins, people who used what they learned to do amazing things. She made education feel less like a boring subject and more like, a human adventure.
And the final piece of this puzzle was making it all real. She would literally point out people in the world, doctors, builders, artists, and connected dots for him. See what they do? That came from their education. And all of a sudden, learning wasn't this abstract thing anymore. It was tangible. It was visible. It was something he could actually want for himself.
So with these three things working together, that gentle love, those powerful stories, and the real-world examples, something started to change. And it wasn't like a light switch flipping on. No, it's more like a slow sunrise, this gradual dawning of a whole new way of seeing things.
And then you get that moment, that aha moment. You know the one. It's when all the little pieces his mom had been laying down for so long, they just clicked. And suddenly, a completely new picture formed in his head.
And this is super important. It wasn't an overnight thing. It was a slow burn, a gradual realization. He slowly started to see that school wasn't some kind of punishment. It was a tool. It was a key that could actually unlock a future he might actually want.
And once that idea took root, that's when the careless child started to disappear. And in his place, someone completely new emerged, the determined dreamer.
And here's the absolute game changer. His motivation? It started coming from the inside. This wasn't about his mom pushing him anymore. The passion was his own, because he now had his own purpose. He wasn't just studying to get a good grade on a test. He was studying to literally build his own future.
I mean, when you look at it side by side, the change is just incredible. The kid who ran from studying now dives into it with passion. Being totally lost is replaced by having a clear goal. What he saw as a chore, he now sees as a powerful tool. And it all comes back to that patient three-step approach his mother used.
So what's the big takeaway here? At the end of the day, this boy's entire life changed because he was told stories that helped him see his world and his future in a completely new light. And that really leaves us with a big question for ourselves, doesn't it? What's the story that you need to hear, or maybe the one you need to tell yourself, to unlock your potential?